Alright, so it's been a couple weeks. Let's see what we've got so far. Oh. Ooh. I mean, we started off so well, right? I mean, just look at that. It's pristine. There's no flaws here. It's perfect. When we read something perfect, everything's just in the right place. It hits all these notes. It's just bam, pow, So, like, a perfect piece is, perfect. There's no blemishes or flaws here. But that should also be the same for a blank piece of paper, right? I mean, it's perfect. Just there's one little problem here. Yeah, this is boring. It's a blank piece of paper. Who needs that, But, like, nobody wants to see this on a piece of paper, right? Well, I mean, at least I tried. I got stuff down on paper. Maybe not, like, just soup. That's gross, actually. Let's just, yeah, gross. But, like, I put words on the page. That's got to amount to something, right? I turned, a blank piece of paper into something. I don't need to be proud of its quality in the moment, but I can still be proud I tried. Can we switch to I'm done with this metaphor, and I don't even... This wouldn't have worked if I didn't have soup left over that I hated. Writing, huh? It's a bit tricky. You mean, you have an idea, you put some characters to it, you put them in a place, and they go on wacky adventures, meeting new people. But then somewhere down the road, you're like, wait a second, none of this makes sense, and you're ready to tear it all down. Tearing it all down does destroy everything wrong with what you wrote, but it also destroys everything you did right. And you might not see any. But then when you go to rewrite it and you're like, darn, I did something really cool here. Yeah, that's gone. Oops. So how do you tear something down without having to destroy it all at once? You do it later. Or you waste time doing it now, but do it later when you know what you're saying. You go through it after the fact, making your little red X's to fix things or improve things, but you can do that later. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I didn't write anything good, let's just consider the mountain hiker climber game from The Price is Right real quick. So you got a big old mountain, there's this little hiker guy, and as he progresses up the mountain and he sings his little song, he keeps going. Now, each one of those steps on the mountain represents, a step of writing. You're the little mountain guy, you're the writer. Starting at the base of the mountain is nothing. Then, it might be writing, it might be editing, proofreading, getting it to an agent, publishing, and I guess falling off the mountain would be where you end up just posting tweets about how your world works, even though you don't mention any of that in the books, so you could have just wrote a book out of it. That was a mean-spirited jab at J.K. Rowling. Forget the top of the mountain. There is no top of the mountain. Mountain goes on forever. Endless mountain. Daunting. But if you write 20,000 terrible words, you still wrote 20,000 words. You're 20,000 steps up the mountain. The next word you write, 20,001. That sounds like progress to me. Feeling stuck though? I totally get it. Sometimes creativity just isn't there. Maybe it is there. Maybe it just went down to the lobby for a cup of coffee in the day's newspaper. Maybe to fill up its bucket at the ice machine or something. But there is creativity still inside of you, and we don't need one of these bad boys to get to it. Ooh. See, I was going to toss this for a joke like I tossed the crumpled up paper earlier, but it's a sharp knife. Don't want to throw a knife. Expensive knife, too. We're just going to put it, we're going to put it right there. Yeah, right there. It's perfect. Right, so we shouldn't force creativity out of us. That's no good. But if you're hitting a slump, where can you go? Outside. Anywhere but here. Don't be like that man. Don't be trapped inside of a painting. But go outside. Just find something weird and creative and tell yourself, oh, that's weird and creative. And repeat the process over and over until it all clicks and you're all ready to go back and write about what you saw. Or not write about what you saw. I won't judge you. I mean, you might write 100 words and then kind of just retire to the couch to play a 25-year-old game. Or you might write a couple words and you get distracted and you find out that Citizen Kane is still not in the public domain. That film's over 75 years old, not in the public domain. The end of World War II is younger than that movie. People who were born the day sliced bread came into existence were 20 years old and that movie showed up in theaters or so. Warner Brothers still owns it. I think you can tell I have a little bit of experience with these two falling off the boats. But at the same time, you might also just start writing and only stop when the sunlight gets in your eyes and you're asking yourself, wasn't it night when I started? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes any of that happens. You still wrote. You're further up the mountain than you were before. Good for you. But if you're still feeling like everything you're writing is garbage, I just want you to step into the shoes of the guy who brings the second cake to a social function. Here's a guy who believes that he has screwed up because he's brought an inferior cake. Everyone's going to eat that first, more nice-looking cake before they'll even touch his. But you know what everyone at that social event is saying to themselves instead? Oh my gosh, we have 2 cakes. Go write. Or go hype yourself up to write. Or pour soup on a piece of paper to make a point. That wasn't even a sign. Why did I even do that? I didn't have to pour that soup. Don't pour the soup. Put the big letters on the screen. Don't pour the soup.